Hey guys, what's up? How are you? Hope that you guys are having an amazing one today. If you're new to my channel, hi, my name is Gerel, and in today's video we are going to be playing with the new palette from Danessa Myricks. This one is the Lightworks Volume 5, which is called the I Am palette. And here we have the box that it comes in, and here we have the palette. It does have a mirror. This palette retails for $125, and I purchased mine directly from the Sephora website. It does have a shelf life of 12 months and is made in China, which I don't really know how I feel about that, just because the Pat McGrath palettes, which is also within the same like maybe $3 off price range, they are made in Italy, and the quality of Pat McGrath is really superb. It's one of my favorites. And also Natasha Denona, her bigger palettes are also within the same price range, and they are also made in Italy. I don't know why I have like the feeling that like the way that the palettes are made in Italy are just so much better comparing it to China, but hey, I could be completely wrong. So we are going to be testing this palette out. So let's go ahead and get into playing with this palette, just doing the swatches as well as creating some looks. This is going to be my first impressions. If you guys are interested in seeing more looks using this palette, let me know in the comment section down below. I am going to link this palette and everything else that I used for this video down in the description area, so just in case you guys are interested in buying anything using my links, they are affiliated. So thank you so much if you are supporting my channel, because it always goes back to my channel. As you guys know, makeup is super expensive. But anyways, let's go ahead and get started. But before we do, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you have not already. You can also like this video, because that definitely helps out my channel so much. And you can also click on the little bell that will notify you whenever I upload a new video, which is every single week. And without further ado, let's get started. By the way, I do have two of the Danessa Myricks palettes, and this one I am thinking that is the first one that I actually purchased from Danessa Myricks, just because I fell in love with the color story. Like here we have the Lightworks 3, and here we have the Lightworks 5. So here is Lightworks 4, and here is Lightworks 5, so you can see the difference from last year. So let's go ahead and now get into the swatches. We're going to start with this one. So the first two that we have here are Heavenly Halos finish, and this one is called Resilient. Then we have Radiant. Center has a Fusion Flakes, and it definitely feels a little flaky. We have another Heavenly Halo, and this one is called Projected. All right, and this one is called Evolving, which it also is a Heavenly Halos. So now we're moving on to these shades right here. Wow, okay, that's insane. I love it. I like don't play with color enough here on my channel anymore, just because we're not into it, but this is amazing. This one is called a Silk Press Shifter, and the first shade, which is the deep blue, is called Strong, and this one is Brave. This is the whip powder, and this one is called Fierce. And the shifter is this one right here, which is right next to it, and this one is called Fearless. And we have these right here. So the Silk Press is called Loved, and then the shifter is called Healed, which it does have like a little bit of a shift, but not very strong. It's mostly purple. And then we have a whipped powder, which is called Inspiring, and this one is the shifter, which is called Abundant. Wow. This one is very flaky. It's going all over the place. Here we have a Molten Metal, and this one is called Invincible. And then we have Unstoppable, and this one is a Suede Shimmer, which I can totally see why it's called a suede. It does have a really interesting texture. And then we have a Cushion Chrome, which is called Powerful. And then we have Suede Shimmer, which is called Unbreakable. And the last one is also a Suede Shimmer, and this one is called Enough. Alright guys, so here we have all of these swatches from the Danessa Myricks Lightworks Volume 5. What do you guys think? I Am palette. This is a beautiful color story. I really didn't think that I was going to like it this much. Alright, so now let's go ahead and get into the look. Alright, so I'm going to start with this brush right here from Refer 15 and the shade Enough. I'm not going to use any primer or anything. Just going to add it to the outer corner. Really gonna keep it on the lid, running it on my lower lashes a little bit and just creating my shape. I'm not going to be using foundation first. I'm going to do my base last just to perfect the look. Not going to send it out too much. I'm going to keep it right here. This is such a beautiful color for like a one and done. All of these shades really are like for one and done. And I am going to take this beautiful abundant shade, which is like a brighter green, and I'm using the Refer 28 brush. I'm going to see how it actually packs with a brush. Yeah, this is gorgeous. I'm going to use my finger instead of a brush just because I feel it's going to be a lot better. Oh yeah, look at that. That's insane. And I decided to use the enough shade in the outer corner just because it's a little bit more deep and it's going to create that depth a little bit in the outer corner, that definition. So I'm going to use this abundant shade almost all over the lid, just leaving a little bit of space in the inner corner. All right, so now I'm going to try to use this brush again, which is the Refer 28 brush in the shade Evolving, which is this one right here. I'm going to use that in the inner corner, and it does have a little bit of a like sparkling gold shades in there. Wow. I mean, I didn't even use a primer or a glue adhesive or anything like that. They're just really sticking to your eyelid very, very nicely. And there's not a lot of fallout, which is amazing. So I'm going back with the shade Enough in this fluffy brush just to run it by in the crease just a little bit, because it does create like a deepness, a darkness to it, and I'm able to blend the other shades a little bit into the crease. I'm not going to bring it too high up, but it just makes the look a little bit cleaner. Okay, that is so beautiful. For the lower lashes, I actually want to bring this inspiring shade, which is right next to Abundant. Like this one right here is like a gunmetal purpley kind of shade, and I'm going to just add it in the inner part of my lower lashes. Okay, so right on top of that shade right here, inspiring, I am going to take Protected, which is this one right here, which is like a topper, and I'm going to add that right on top of it. Okay, so yeah, this Protected shade is definitely taking it to the next level, which is something that I wanted to do. And I'm going to go back with Enough and going back with Protected. This palette is definitely going to be perfect for those of you that are makeup artists, that are doing editorial kind of makeup, or if you are into like super bold makeup, you love your colors, you just want it to be like super intense and you don't mind that type of look. This is definitely going to be the palette for you, because oh my goodness, I cannot believe that we created this look so quickly, and like everything is just super intense and just works so well. I'm not going to introduce any mattes to this palette. I'm not going to bring any other palettes whatsoever. I'm just going to stick to this palette right here and create another look for you guys. So let's go ahead and get that done. All right, so I'm going to use the shade Strong, and I'm going to use it here on my outer corner and just create the same shape as this one right here, or at least try to. Really keeping it low on my crease, and I'm trying not to go too high up, so just really focusing this color in the outer corner. All right, so now I'm going to use Invincible, which is this shade right here, and I'm going to use my finger to apply it to my lid and leave it a little space right here in the inner corner. I'm going to intensify the blue just a little bit, just to make sure that we haven't lost that. Okay, I'm definitely feeling a little bit of the glitter like falling everywhere. So I'm glad that I'm actually doing my eyes first versus doing my base first. And now I am going to use this brush right here, which is the Refer 21 brush. And I'm going to take the shade in Resilient. I'm going to add it in the very inner corner of my eye and just working it in to me with the silver shade. I'm going to go back with the silver shade in my finger just because I feel like it's not covering all of my lid. Now it is. So just using Resilient in the very inner corner of my eyelid and just bringing it up. I'm back with the original brush that we were working with and just going to blend the edges a little bit using a smaller brush, and going back with the blue shade that's going to bring into the crease just a little bit. I'm going to use Brave, which is a shifter, and I'm going to add it right in the center and just all over the lid. All right, so just taking Invincible on this small brush right here, just so we can add it to the lower lashes. Just creating a little bit more definition right here in the outer corner with the original blue that we added. I want this inner corner to really pop, so I'm going to go back to Protected, and I'm going to add it right in the inner corner. That is so beautiful. All right, guys, so here is the look, and that inner corner just did something to my brain. I'm super happy with this look right here. I am going to do the rest of my makeup off camera, gather my thoughts, and come back to you guys and let you guys know what my first impressions of this palette is. But maybe you already have an idea because I'm so excited about it. But anyways, let me go ahead and just do the rest of the makeup, and you can also see the final look. All right, guys, so here we have the final look, and oh my goodness, I just can't. I am very, very impressed with this look. All right, guys, so here we have look number 1. And here we have look number 2. All right, guys, so again, here we have the final look, and I'm just so in love with this look right here. Like, this one is my favorite. I think that is so beautiful, and now that I'm actually looking at it, it looks so much like this like packaging right here. Maybe I got inspired without even knowing that I was getting inspired. But yeah, I mean, this palette is intense. I know that it's not going to be for everyone. I already mentioned to you guys that I think that this palette is best for those working makeup artists that are actually doing an editorial kind of work, or if you are just like super in love with like really nice, beautiful, colorful shades that are super intense, because that is the makeup that you absolutely love wearing every single day, or on the weekends, or whenever you decide to wear this type of makeup. Or maybe you just want to have a palette in your collection that is going to provide you with like beautiful, absolutely stunning shades. This is definitely the way to go if you're looking for that special palette, because oh my goodness, it is intense. The pigmentation is outstanding. It is super gorgeous, like very, very glittery, just like I like my eyeshadows to be, very bold, very like sparkly, and it's so beautiful. And the different types of finishes that we have here in this palette, it's really beautiful because it adds something even more special to this palette. So for me, for my first impressions of using this palette, really creating these two looks, just playing with the palette, the different textures again, just it is such a delight. I am so impressed with this palette. I didn't really think that I was going to like it this much. When I first saw this palette, it was just not it for me. I wasn't even like interested in buying it. But then I was like, you know what, this is what I do here on my channel. Let me go ahead and just purchase it, play with it. And I know that it's not going to be like my favorite, but here I am, really excited with this palette, just feeling so much joy after playing with this palette, just being so in love with this makeup looks right here. And I love that. I love when makeup palettes actually make me feel something special inside, because it just makes me feel so creative, and I want to play with this palette all over again. So let me know in the comment section down below if you guys want to see more looks. But yeah, that is it. I know that this palette is not going to be for everyone, so for those of you that were interested, again, go ahead and check out the links down below. But that is it, my friends. That is it for this video. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for your love, your time, and support. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel if you have not already, and I will see you next time.